All right, guys, welcome back to the cave, Cody's Movie Cave. It's been a little while, been away for the holidays and whatnot, so I hadn't really had a chance to chat with you guys. Hope everybody had a great holiday. And so, yeah, it's first of the year, 2023. Movie-wise, we had some pretty big movies over the holiday season. Um, Streaming and in theater, what have you. The biggest one we're going to talk about today was Avatar, The Way of Water, Avatar 2. So, we take a trip back to Pandora, we check in with Jake Sully and Neytiri and all the other little Na'vi creatures. And so, yeah, time has passed a good bit, and the opening of the movie is Jake's monologue, played by Sam Worthington plays Jake, but it's his opening monologue. He kind of catches us up to speed, if you will, on what's been going on, what's the happenings in Pandora. And, him and Neytiri are together, obviously, and he's the leader of the, I'm not even going to try to pronounce that clan, but he's the leader of that little tribe, and they've had quite the little brood. They've had quite a good number of children since the last one. Obviously, time has passed a good bit. We kind of see them, when they're young babies, and we kind of go through a quick little flash there of them growing up to adolescence to teenage years, and so that's kind of where the story kicks off from there for this movie. Is focusing on their teenage years and, obviously Jake and Neytiri. So, I'm not going to try to spoil a whole lot. If you hadn't seen it, there's probably a good chance by now you have, because, let's face it, it's been out since, early December, so yeah, you probably have, but anyway, I'm not going to spoil it for you. Its action is incredible. It's amped up, a lot more action, a lot more battles, fight scenes, and such like that from the last one. So that was a fun watch. Yeah, it's a good movie. It's really good. I enjoyed it. I went in kind of not expecting a whole lot of it. I know, shocker. It was a big movie. But here's the reason why, is because the trailers didn't give a whole lot away, so I really didn't know what to expect. And that's the genius in James Cameron right there, leaving a surprise for you. He comes from that old school generation of filmmaking, and he likes you to go in not really knowing, and I like that. Anyway, so yeah, I enjoyed it. It was a good movie. It's a little on the long side. It's 3 hours plus. But here's the great thing about it is it moves at a conducive speed, and as far as the story and the action goes, that you really don't feel like it is that long. Yeah, it's 3 hours, but, instead of sitting there watching something boring, it moves at a good speed. That's what I'm trying to say. The visual effects are great, on par. I didn't go see it in 3D. Probably should have. I seen the first one in 3D when it was, it started the whole 3D wave, that first movie. But this one, I didn't do it. Probably should have. But even in regular D, I guess is what you call it, it was still a great movie. The visuals are still there. They're still great. This world that James Cameron has created is very good. It's very eye-popping and flashy, and that's still there. I like the family theme of the movie. It's more focused on family this time around than it is the first. The first film was focused on Jake figuring out where he belongs in on this journey of his life, and where he fits in, and ultimately fits in more with the people of the creatures of Pandora than he does with his own human race. But this one is more focused. The theme is family, and I like that. I appreciate that. Negative thoughts. There was some plot holes that I feel that could have been, kind of fleshed out and left us kind of going, huh? But here's hoping the next couple of movies will sort of answer some of those questions and sort of fill in the gaps as it was. other negative thoughts, toward the middle part, you know, we'll say it did kind of get a little draggy. Not a lot to be like, you know, major negativity, but it did kind of feel that part that I'm talking about, and I'm not going to spoil it, could have been kind of condensed. But anyway, there's not a whole lot of negative things to say about this film. It's fun. It's entertaining. Like I said, the action is really amped up this time around. I gotta say, the villain in this movie, for me, made it. You know, I mean, he's one of those villains that is just despicable. You know, just dastardly, I guess you call it. Stephen Lang is back. You know, we all knew that from the trailers. As the Colonel that was in the first one, the old salty, you know, warmonger that was in the first movie. He's back this time around. Not going to spoil it, but you probably have seen the trailers and know he's a little different this time around, okay? He's a little different. That's all I'm going to say. It's fun. Anyway, so Avatar 2, Way of Water, it's a fun movie. PG-13, like I said, it's 3 hours plus. You know, I took the kids to see it. I was expecting them to kind of either fall asleep or get a little antsy. But they actually watched it. All 3 hours and however many minutes it was, they watched it and enjoyed it. So if you got kids and you think they might not like it, it's colorful and catchy enough and loud and big that it holds their attention. So anyway, Avatar 2, Way of Water, and of course it's made mountains of money. So obviously, you know, James Cameron was a little concerned at first about its inflated budget, but it has made a profit. So we will be getting those sequels, and I can't wait to see what James Cameron and the rest of the gang there on Pandora brings next time around. Avatar 2, Way of Water is now playing in theaters still. Probably going to be a while before they stream it on Disney Plus and HBO Max, but that shouldn't be too far along. Probably spring, I'd say spring 2023, somewhere in there. But anyway, if you hadn't seen it, if you're one of the, you know, 2 or 3 people left that hadn't seen it, go check it out, okay? You'll enjoy it. It's a good movie. It's a good watch. It's a big blockbuster, you know. It's aching to that far as just the bigness and the loudness and the just meant to be seen on the big screen, okay? It's very akin to like Star Wars in that nature. So, yeah, Avatar Saga continues. Go check it out. As always, this has been my humble opinion. You know what we say about opinions? They're like butts, guys. Everybody's got one, and some of them stink. Later.